Hello everyone, this is Jessica, and I'm so glad you're here for another gentle, focused session of daily English listening practice on English mindset. If you're new, welcome to a calm corner of the internet where we strengthen your English a little bit every day with simple stories, clear speech, and useful words you can carry into real life. Today, relax your shoulders, breathe in slowly, and let yourself listen for the main ideas, the small details, and the feelings behind the words. You don't have to catch every single syllable. Just stay with me, and let the language move through you like a friendly river. We'll travel through everyday scenes: homes, markets, buses, offices, kitchens, and meet people you might recognize in your own life, people who make mistakes, correct them, try again, and grow. As you listen, notice patterns. Notice how a question leads to an answer, how a problem invites a solution, how a small habit becomes a big change. And if a sentence feels too quick, smile and let it pass. Another sentence will arrive, and your understanding will grow with it. Let's begin with a morning that almost goes wrong and then gently turns right. Daniel wakes up early for an important interview. He double-checks his shirt, his shoes, and his smile in the mirror. He leaves home at 8:15 for a 9 o'clock appointment, feeling proud of his timing, until the small truth taps him on the shoulder: the documents are still on the kitchen table. A wave of worry rises, but he stands still for a second and lets it pass. He turns around, returns home, picks up the papers, and arrives 5 minutes late. When the interviewer asks what happened, Daniel tells the truth with calm eyes. The interviewer listens, sees the honesty, and says, "Thank you for telling me." Sometimes preparation is a checklist. Sometimes it is a decision to stay calm when the checklist falls to the floor. You can hear the lesson in the rhythm: plan, act, adjust, explain. If you practice that rhythm with small tasks: cooking, commuting, calling, you will hear it in your English too. Plan your words, speak them, adjust if needed, and then explain again with patience. Now imagine a market where the air smells like oranges, mint, and warm bread. Maria arrives without her usual list because she believes she can remember everything. The baskets are beautiful, the prices are tempting, and her mind begins to drift. She buys olives she doesn't need, tea she won't drink, and returns home without milk for the baby. The next week she carries a small paper note with 3 lines and a circle next to each item. She buys only what she needs, checks 3 circles, and walks home lighter in her body and lighter in her mind. A shopping list is more than ink, it is a quiet conversation with the future version of you who wants peace at the end of the day. In your English study, a tiny list can be just as kind: 3 new words, 1 short sentence, and 1 honest question. Circle each when you're done, and let the small circles become a necklace of progress. While dinner simmers in a pan, Ahmed puts on a podcast: 20 minutes, nothing heavy, just friendly voices floating through the kitchen tiles. He stirs, he tastes, he listens. For a month the words pass by like birds. In the second month they begin to sit on the windowsill. In the third month they fly into his mouth, and he repeats after them without fear. He didn't change his life to study, he braided English into what he was already doing. This is a secret many learners forget: your day is not a wall to climb, it's a garden where you can plant phrases between tomatoes and thyme, between laundry and sunlight, between your steps and your breath. One rainy evening, Samir meets an old man whose hands tremble around heavy bags. The rain writes silver lines down Samir's sleeves as he carries the weight to the front door. The old man's smile warms his bones more than the tea that follows. Kindness doesn't need a speech, it has a grammar of its own, with simple verbs help, carry, wait, listen and soft adverbs gently, patiently, quietly. If you remember those verbs and those adverbs when your tongue feels shy, you already have a kind sentence ready to use in the world. In a small kitchen with a big heart, Aisha and Kareem open a notebook and learn the music of their money. Each week they write the numbers down: rice, oil, bus tickets, school fees. They stop buying snacks outside and discover that home has flavors they had forgotten. After 3 months, school is paid and there is even a little extra for new books that smell like possibility. When you write numbers, you find space. When you write words, you find voice. If English feels distant, let it sit next to your numbers. Write one sentence about what you spent and why. Let your language become as honest as your budget. At work, Daniel suggests something light but strong: share the tasks so the shoulders share the load. The first week has awkward edges, people hesitate, schedules bump, but then the rhythm arrives and everyone breathes a little easier. English practice is also a team effort between you and your future self. Choose one role for your morning listening. Choose one role for your afternoon speaking. Choose one role for your evening reviewing. When each part does its job, the day becomes a team that carries you forward. In a classroom painted with children's drawings, Lena walks in with a smile that arrives before her words. Her students relax as if a window has opened. A smile is a short lesson in communication. It says "I see you" without a dictionary. If you forget a word, give a smile. It will hold the space until the word returns. Hassan, a taxi driver, finds a forgotten wallet in the back seat during a heavy day of traffic. He could ignore it and save a few minutes, but instead he turns the wheel toward integrity and returns the wallet. Later, the passenger recommends him to friends, and a small circle of trust begins to grow like a ring on water. Language works the same way. When you don't know, say, "I'm not sure, can you repeat that slowly?" That single honest sentence can turn a confusing moment into a clear one. Isla wants to move her body but not her budget. Her friend shows her a path made of simple steps: walk in place while the soup simmers, lift water bottles while music plays, stretch with the sunrise. 2 months later, energy waves through her day like a soft drum. The lesson is practical and portable. Small steps every day turn a door into a hallway into a garden, and a garden into a life that breathes easier. If you need a small step for English, try this: every time you boil water, say one sentence about what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. The kettle whistles. The cup is warm. The tea smells sweet. That's a 3-sentence workout for your speaking muscles. Omar makes a mistake at work sending the wrong file. He could hide, but he chooses the light. He writes a clear email, corrects the attachment, and apologizes once, not 5 times. His manager appreciates the speed of truth. Mistakes are not doors that lock, they are doors that teach you where the real knob is. In English, too, one honest correction is more powerful than a long apology. Try, "Let me say that again," and then say it again with the new word you just learned. Each evening, Fatima gives her children a soft question: "How was your day?" Under that question, the children place laughter and fear, secret victories, and quiet worries. 10 minutes becomes a bridge that the family crosses every night. If you live alone, ask yourself the same question in English. Answer out loud while you wash the dishes. Today I felt rushed at noon, but after tea I calmed down. The ear teaches the mouth teaches the mind teaches the day. A traveler arrives hungry at Thomas's bakery with empty hands. Thomas offers bread without a bill. A week later, generosity returns in a form he didn't expect. This is not a promise from the universe, it's a reminder from your own heart. When you act from abundance, your language flows too. Try giving a tiny gift to your English. Teach a new word to a friend. When you explain, you learn twice. Sarah feels the tug-of-war of multitasking and decides to choose only 3 important tasks each morning. She writes them down, touches the paper with a pen as if she is planting seeds, and then waters the seeds with attention. By evening, the garden looks tidy. If you are overwhelmed by grammar, make a 3-task list for language. Listen to 1 short story, repeat 5 sentences, write 2 simple lines about your day. Cross them off and rest. Yusuf dreams of visiting relatives in another city but keeps his dream in the future where days are always empty and tomorrow never begins. One evening he and his wife decide to save a small amount each week. 8 months later they step into a bus that smells like warm plastic and hope. English has buses like that too. Every day you place a small coin into a jar. 5 minutes of listening, 3 minutes of speaking, 2 minutes of writing, and one day you realize you've bought a ticket to a conversation you thought was impossible. Emily is quiet in meetings, not because she has no ideas, but because her ideas need a path. She decides to prepare 3 lines before each meeting, a greeting, 1 comment about her work, and 1 question for the team. After a few weeks, her voice enters the room before her fear does. You can make the same path. Good morning, everyone. A quick update from me. May I ask a question about the timeline? These are keys that fit many doors. Ibrahim wants to drink more water but keeps forgetting. A bottle on the desk becomes a lighthouse for his attention. Each sip is a small reminder that health is a habit, not a hope. Put English reminders in your space too, a sticky note with a phrase on the bathroom mirror, a screensaver with 3 verbs you love, a phone alarm that whispers, 2 minutes of listening now. Hannah hates wasting food. She plans meals and freezes extras, and the fridge becomes a team player. Planning is a form of respect for your time, your resources, your future mood. Plan your English in the same spirit. Choose the days you will listen and the days you will speak, the days you will read and the days you will write. Let your calendar become a friend who keeps promises with you. Ali faces a rude customer and chooses calm over heat. He apologizes for the mistake, corrects the bill, and watches the other person's anger lose its fuel. Calm is contagious. In conversation, if voices rise, bring yours down. If speed increases, slow your sentence. Meaning loves a steady pace. Sophia refreshes her cooking by asking neighbors for 1 new recipe each week. Curiosity is the best spice. Ask English for a new flavor, a phrasal verb you've never used, an idiom that makes you smile, a synonym that surprises your tongue. Kareem delivers packages through heat and rain. A glass of water from a stranger turns a difficult day into a bearable one. Small gestures are bridges, and language is the sign that points to the bridge. Rayhan notices students forgetting homework and creates a small ritual: write the assignment before leaving the classroom. Reminders are kindness, not criticism. Give yourself reminders for English that are visible and honest, a small line on your calendar that says, "I keep my promise," and then keep it for 5 minutes. Yasmin adds tiny breaks to her workday and discovers that energy grows in spaces, not in constant effort. Let your study breathe, listen, stand up, stretch, and come back. Anne Clara discovers that plants need their own pots to grow well. Your tasks need space too. Avoid planting 5 goals in 1 hour, give one goal a full pot of attention and watch it bloom. Ibrahim recycles boxes with a school and turns waste into resource. Your mistakes can become lessons for someone else if you share what you changed. Rachel learns to charge her phone at night after one missed call teaches a fast lesson. Habits are agreements between you and tomorrow. Sif lowers his electricity bill with a small note near the switch. Fatima makes tea at home and buys back her mornings. Mark's cheerful "good morning" changes the bus ride for hundreds of small hearts. Aisha washes dishes after meals and gifts herself a calmer tomorrow. Hassan waters in the cool hours and watches Green return to the garden. Emma offers tiny free repairs and receives trust in return. Kareem sets a fixed bedtime and wakes up inside a better day. Isla cuts fruit into bright shapes and discovers that presentation can persuade even small, stubborn appetites. Sammy delivers bread with a broken bicycle and gains respect he didn't plan for. Rosa posts a cleaning schedule and turns a shared table into shared pride. Ferd replaces sugary drinks with lemon water and feels health arrive quietly. Sophia and her husband eat without phones 3 times a week and rediscover conversation. Jamila keeps her keys in a bowl by the door and stops racing backward through her day. Peter learns one new word at a time with sticky notes on a mirror and builds a small museum of memory. Isla and Omar put chores on a chart and remove arguments from the calendar. Henry walks to the bus instead of taking a taxi and saves enough for a useful tool that pays him back later. Noor places her alarm across the room and trains her body to stand up with her ears. Kareem gives his workers a tea break and watches productivity rise like steam. Saw Jessica lowers the oven and bakes a better cake. Patience is often the missing ingredient. Rashid ties a ribbon to his umbrella and stops losing it on buses. A small visual hook can hold a habit in place. Huda prepares her bag at night and greets the morning without hurry. Thomas puts his phone in another room during meals and finds that soup tastes like stories again. Ibrahim writes small notes of praise for his students and watches effort grow taller. Ahmed replaces morning news with a short story and grows vocabulary instead of worry. Salma keeps a reusable bag in her purse and feels a quiet pride each time she says no to plastic. Khalid teaches a child to fix a toy and receives gratitude he didn't expect. Yasser reads labels and chooses health with his eyes. By now, as you listen, perhaps you feel a soft truth rising. Your English is not a separate life, it is the way you narrate the life you already have. You can bring language to markets and buses, kitchens and classrooms, gardens and late-night desks. You can apologize with it, celebrate with it, plan with it, and rest with it. You can carry it in your pocket like a note that says, "I am learning, I am listening, I am improving." When a day goes well, say one sentence about why. When a day goes wrong, say one sentence about what you learned. When a person is kind, say thank you in words that carry your real voice. And when you feel tired, breathe once, twice, 3 times, and remember, small steps, repeated kindly, become long journeys that don't feel long. Before we close, choose one small promise you can actually keep today. Maybe you'll listen to this episode again and catch 3 new phrases. Maybe you'll repeat 5 sentences out loud while you make tea. Maybe you'll write 2 honest lines about your day. Whatever you choose, keep it simple, keep it gentle, and keep it yours. I'm proud of you for showing up and giving your attention to something that will serve you for years. Thank you for listening with your ears and your heart. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend who needs a calm companion on their English journey. And if you want more stories like these, stay close to English Mindset. I'll be here, speaking slowly, smiling often, and walking with you, one clear sentence at a time.